Well, hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Welcome again.
Welcome in.
Hopefully, y'all have joined us yet again for our second episode of the Southern Gospel Spin. I'm Scott Bolden.
And I'm Jason Baines.
And we are just so glad that you are here with us. If you're coming on and getting in here in our living room with us tonight, if you will, just share this video. We definitely would appreciate that. We'll probably say that a few more times along the way.
Probably so.
Had a good day, Jason?
Yeah, it's been a good day. It's been a little warm.
It's been a little warm. I think it's hot everywhere.
It is hot.
It's hot everywhere.
So thank God for the air conditioning.
That's right. That's right. We get a little spoiled to that, but that's a good thing. But thank y'all so much for joining us. We got a great time ahead of you tonight. We are just excited.
I'm tickled.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Before we do that, I'm going to get into a little business, and I'm going to have to play producer while we're doing it. But y'all that's watching this knows that we are about as nonprofit can be, especially, when you're in the red. That's real nonprofit, right?
Yeah,
but we're doing this thin, and we're trying to some of y'all talked about helping us a little bit, and one way that you can do it is we got a couple of sponsors, and if you shop with them, we get a little referral out of it, and it helps. So first of all, if y'all remember, we have the Ben Soap Company, the all natural goat milk soap and lotions and lip balm and salve and biscuits,
all kinds
and
of stuff.
Everything.
Biscuits.
No, I don't know if they got biscuits, but Ben Soap, my family personally use it. We love it. If you go to bensoap.com and use the coupon code SBM Studios, we would greatly appreciate that. And then also we have sponsorship from mypillow.com. I tell you, I told Jason, I think I'm going to get him to try one out.
I've got to. I've got to get me a pillow.
It's the best pillow. I'm so spoiled. If my head is not on that pillow, I don't sleep. It's that, and it's American made, Christian owned, American owned, patriot minded. A lot of products. The Giza sheets were the best sheets you'll ever sleep on. If you'll go to mypillow.com and use coupon code SBM Studios, we would appreciate that. That'll give us a little referral. So we'll get the commercials and the business out of the way.
Yeah,
first.
We appreciate all of our sponsors, and just like you said, appreciate everybody that's watching. If you feel led to visit one of those sites and help them out, help us out, we'd appreciate it.
That's right. If you want to go tonight and buy 100 sheet sets, that's wonderful. We just appreciate that.
Buy 100 pillows, send me one.
That's right. Well, look, let's get away from that stuff and get to the fun stuff.
Absolutely.
You want to?
Yep.
All right. Tonight, y'all, we are so blessed to have one of our heroes.
Yes.
Jason and I, and I know he can hear us talking in the back office of the studio here, and not to age anything, but Jason and I grew up listening to this gentleman sing with the Cathedral Quartet, and before that, the Singing Americans and Perfect Heart. You know who we're talking about now. Please make welcome to the studio and the Southern Gospel Spin, Brother Danny Funderburk.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Brother Danny, how are you?
Oh, my God. You know what you just said, that most people that I know have heard me sing because I've been out here for so long. I've had people come up to me and said, boy, I've been listening to you, and they look fairly old. And I go, no, I don't believe that. But anyway, you know what? It's a good thing to be with you guys. It really is. It certainly is. And I know that God has just been good to us down through the years. And so to be on with you guys, did you say the second program?
That's right.
Second episode. Yes, sir.
Are you serious? Second episode. Okay. We're going to have to sell these like the Andy Griffith shows. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Just to give you a little bit of history, I had just a voice only podcast that had about a full year's worth of episodes. And then we've transitioned now to this where we're live streaming, and we're going to put this on the podcast too. So for this season and this particular venture, this is the second episode.
Oh, great. Well, it's great to be with you guys. It really is.
Well, Brother Danny, like Scott said, we certainly appreciate you joining us tonight. And I thought just kicking this thing off, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of taking us back a little bit, give us kind of a history of your ministry. And I'd love it if you'd share your testimony as well, and just give us some background.
Jason, I'd be glad to. I mean, I don't know how far back you want me to go. You know, most people knew that I was born in 1954, so they can do the math. I won't tell what month, so that'll give my age away. But anyway, uh, been around gospel music for 47 years, and I used to travel locally with my dad and them. We lived in a little town of Hemby Bridge, North Carolina, which is on the outer skirts of Indian Trail, North Carolina, which is there's it's hard to explain where Indian Trail is, other than say Charlotte, North Carolina area, southeast of that. So that's where I grew up. And so my dad, he was a deacon of the church, and then he went into pastoring and all that, and then he went into evangelism some after that. And I had an opportunity in the early to mid 70s to travel with a local group called the Revelaires Quartet. And that was my dad, Charles Surratt, and John Barbie, and of course then went Alan Hunter, and anyway, we had that part-time group, and I actually started out playing drums just so that I could get on the bus and go with Dad and them. And I thought we were big time because there was a couple weekends out of the month that we'd have to spend the night somewhere. So I thought, man, this is unbelievable. We're big time pros, you know, but no, we were just local, just going and doing what God wanted us to do. And then in 1980, I joined the Singing Americans, and the way that happened is there was the baritone singer Charles Surratt that was with the Revelaires. Of course, when I disbanded, I didn't sing for like 3 years after the Revelaires disbanded. Anyway, long story short, Charles went up there. He joined the Singing Americans. Charlie Burke called him, and so they was looking for a tenor singer. And so Charles called and said, "We'd like for you to come up and try out if you want to." Said this would be an actual full-time job, singing Christian music, singing, you know, for the Lord. And so I didn't know you could actually do that. I thought it was all part-time stuff and just go and you know, stay in your church and do whatever you could do. Anyway, long story short, I spent 3 years there with the Singing Americans. We went through quite a few great singers that went through that group. Michael English was one of them. Ivan Parker was the one also. Clayton Inman. So while I was there for the 3 years, we went through 3 lead singers like that. And so then God opened the doors for me to go with the Cathedral Quartet. And I joined him in Christmas of 1983. That was unbelievable. I never dreamed that, first of all, I never dreamed that I would be singing, you know, for a living, because I just wanted to do a work for the Lord. And so what I did was I just prayed that God's will be done and open the doors for me to go wherever you want me to go. I went from playing the drums to singing tenor with all these wonderful groups, and especially the Cathedral Quartet. You know, they were great men of God, and everybody that I've sung with was. But the thing of it is, I believe that was the platform that I really feel like that God used me probably in a very big way, because those guys were very loved and very well known, and we had some great music back then. So and then of course after you know almost 8 years with the Cathedral Quartet, I went and we formed the group Perfect Heart Ministries. And of course, most people know who that was Jeff Stice and Mike Presnell and Dale Shipley and Mark Lanier. And we had about 4 years there with Perfect Heart. And so no, it's all been a road of my whole life has been around gospel music and just singing for the Lord. I mean, and I realized that all these years of singing, there's more to it than a song. Now, have I been perfect? No, I failed God many a times, you know, and but He has definitely been very faithful to me and allowed me to be where I'm at today, simply because of Him being faithful to me and holding on to me, and I just thank God for it. And so now we have a solo ministry, and I thank God that Shelley and I are out, and we're probably busier than I've ever been. And one of the reasons I left the cathedrals is that we were gone all the time, and we formed Perfect Heart hoping that we could stay home more, but God had other plans there. So anyway, I'm jumping around, but there's just so much has happened in the last few years, and I can truly see the hand of God on it. And so I'm very thankful and grateful that He's been able to take this old boy right here and use him in the way that I've been able to do a work for the Lord.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Yes.
Who made the call to you from the cathedrals? Do you remember that?
Yeah, he denies it, but it was Mark Trammell.
That's
So
good
after I
stuff.
got there, I definitely picked up on Mark's voice, and of course he never said anything. He always smiled, but no, I got that call and said, I think it would be to your best interest if you called Glenn Payne. I'm going to give you his number, la la la. And so I waited a couple of days, and I finally called. I didn't really know what was going on. He just said that Glenn would like to talk to me. I kind of had an idea because in a couple of days you start picking up on the rumors, you start picking up on certain things, especially when you become very curious of why he wanted me to call.
Yeah.
And so I finally called, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, he said hello, and I said, hey, Mr. Payne. And he said, yeah, this is him. I said, this is Danny Funderburk, and he actually hollered to his wife and said, honey, he called. And he said, what are you doing, Funderburk? And I said, well, I'm calling you. He said, you want to sing with the Cathedral Quartet? And I said, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, yeah, I mean, I think I would. So anything that I feel like where God's sending, I think that was a definite plus. Not taking anything away from where I was at, but I don't know. We had sang a few times with them, with the Singing Americans, and every time we would get through, and I would go and I'd speak to George and the guys. George would put his arms around me and hug my neck. And he said, Funderburk, I hope one day you and I get to sing together.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
And it happened. And so I'm very honored that God opened that door for me to be a part of those guys. And they're good folks. And if anybody wants to ask questions about the Cathedral Quartet, I gladly answer those questions because I don't have to hesitate. Those guys were very good to us. They're very good to me, Mark, Roger, all the guys that's been there. George always had a saying, once a cathedral, always a cathedral. Mm-hmm. And so when I told Glenn, I said, yes, I would. I said, do you need me to come up and try out? And he said, no, you got the job if you want it. He said, we've already been around you a couple of times with the Singing Americans. And he said, my Lord, we know that you can do it. And we think you will be a good fit for us. And so that's how that came about. And so I thank God for that.
That's neat. That's neat.
Fantastic. And yeah, we got several folks watching live. So if you do have specific questions, I can't make any promises, but we can try to put those up here as y'all are watching. But thinking about that, Brother Danny, as you travel with some really amazing people through your career. I'd even thinking about back in the Singing American days, you traveled with Mr. Ed Hill. Who is definitely a singing legend. And then you move on with all those you sang with the Singing Americans, and you had the cathedrals and with Glenn and George and during that era with Roger and Gerald and Mark, and then even move on to Perfect Heart. But thinking about that, I've watched some videos where some of the former cathedrals got together and told some road stories about the days on the road. But as far as you and managing your ministry and working through your solo ministry, and even when you took roles in Perfect Heart, from working with men and the veterans like Ed Hill and Glenn Payne and George Yance, what were some things that you took away or that you gleaned from being on the road with them that's helped you in your days of ministry?
When it come to Ed was just a gentleman. I mean, total gentleman, and he had respect for everyone. I mean, and that Ed had been with the Stamps and Emerson and done background singers for Elvis Presley before he came with us, and so he never had the big head. Ed was very humble. He was such a wonderful guy, and I appreciated Ed. and all the guys that had been there. I mean, I think if we had been a little older and realized what was going on, we'd all been a little smarter. But I think you live and learn, and hopefully you learn and not do the things that you maybe used to do, or the way you used to think back then. I know life is very important now, and it's more than a song. And that's one thing that I think I was taught by George and Glenn and a lot of the guys, that it's more blessed to give than receive. And so we had to grow up. A lot of us had to grow up. Ivan and myself, and all the guys, Mike, and everybody that, as we were young and God opened those doors for us to do what we did. I think that's the one thing that I wished I'd have been better at, is being a little more focused and really, really realize what was happening and taking place, because I see today how many lives have been touched, down through the years with our music. And I just wonder how many more lives could have been touched if we'd all been probably a little more focused than what we were back then.
Yes, sir. It's always what's the saying? You wish you knew that you were in the good old days when you were in the good old days, or something like that. It's
Well, that's good, Scott. That's a good thing, and you just need to realize how blessed you are when you're being blessed, and and that's what was going on. And so, even though we appreciated our music and the opportunity to sing, were we trying to, impress instead of trying to bless people's hearts?
Right.
I don't know. I just know that my heart and my life in the last 4 or 5 years has really been turned around, and I thank God for it. And so it just means so much to me now. And not that it didn't then back then. It's just that with everything that I went through with my health issues and all that, I've seen the hand of God basically from day one. And I remember the first trip that I took to Maiden, North Carolina, and to join the Singing Americans, singing full time. And I didn't know what in the world was going on, really, and what to expect and all that. And I walk in, and here I'm a little guy from North Carolina and Union County, of all places. Excuse me, in the big town of Hemby Bridge. I could have been the mayor, because I'd only had to run against 2 other people, But I mean, Hemby Bridge is not a big place, and it has grown since. But no, I don't know. God is just he has taken care of this boy right here. Amen. When I didn't really realize how wonderful he was taking care of me.
That is fantastic. What a testimony. Before we move on, real quick, we can give a little shout out. Folks wanting to say hello. Young Riley Wheeler, Big Red. He says, "Good evening, gentlemen." He's going to be. We're going to be on tomorrow night. Riley and Avery Bradford. We're going to have Trevor Conkle on Southern Gospel Forward. So looking forward to that. Jason's wife Rachel says, looking forward to watching after class. She's hitting people right now.
Yeah,
isn't she?
She is. Her and our youngest Dawson are in karate class right now. So.
How about?
Oh my goodness! Is Rachel and the kids doing well?
They are doing well. They sure are.
I got Miss Kitty Watson Balk Schumann, I believe that says.
Yeah,
hey,
I
Danny.
said Schuman's wife, Kitty. Yeah,
all right.
Wonderful people. Oh my gosh. Yeah, those are my Florida people that I love so much.
And hopefully you can see these as I'm putting up, Danny.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see you. Okay, everything Southern Gospel. Okay.
Yeah. Blaine Rayleigh, I think that's who that is. Billy Carr.
Yeah, we're looking forward to the convention this year.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
My buddy Billy. Oh my word. Hey Billy Carr.
Let's see. Moving on.
Oh, Shelley and I love Billy.
Oh, check this one out.
Steve Gibson.
He says hello from Hemby Bridge.
Oh my goodness.
Is he the mayor?
Yeah, he could be. Oh my goodness, that's a good man right there. Lord have mercy, Steve. It's good to see you and to know that you're on watching, buddy. God bless you. Oh,
And
Rodney Homan.
yeah, it says my favorite cathedral tenor. And then this right here, we'll show one more and then we'll get back. But Miss Megan Edwards asked a question to Scott and Jason, your favorite cathedral song. I've got two. And I'll go first because it's easy. I've got two. Mine is We Shall See Jesus. And for what earthly reason. That's my two favorites. That's my two favorites.
Ryan Wilkerson and Dottie Rambo's songs.
Yes,
two great
that's
songs.
my favorites.
There's too many.
Yeah.
I've got way too many.
Oh,
I like them all too. I do, Jason. All this seemed like everything we did with the cathedrals was just very good. You know, mean, classic, great songs, good gospel songs.
Yep.
Just to go back a second and to pick up with Rachel and the boys, and I want to speak to this, and I would tell Brother Danny this to his face, which I'm fixing to. He's not, you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
But just if you had to ask me who Danny Funderburk is, I could tell you in one little instance, going back 2 years ago to NQC, and Brother Danny, you probably remember this, but had never really had a whole lot of interaction with Brother Danny. But Rachel and I and the boys were there, and we went up. Brother Danny was at his table, and Rachel and I spoke to him, and of course, carried on a conversation with him at that point. And there stood our two boys there, and he could have easily looked over them and said, just, hey, how you doing? And went on about his night. But he didn't. He took that 5 minutes with our two boys and spoke into their lives.
Yeah.
And I know that meant a lot to them, but it meant a lot to Rachel and I.
Sure. Yeah.
Brother Danny, for you to take that time and to do that. And that's a moment that I'll never forget. And so I appreciate you doing that, and just even to know the love that you have, not just for the older generation, but for the younger generation. And I thank you for that.
Thank you, Jason. Like I said, I am not perfect by no means. And all the years that I've been out here, you've heard the old song, wasted years. Sometimes you wish you could go back and redo it and know what we know today. But I don't know. I just have a heart for people. I know that, first of all, I can't judge anyone. Secondly, I just feel like that we're all in this together, and the devil's out to devour. He's out to destroy. And if we can't be an encourager, we need to probably step aside. And that's so good. I'm just trying. I know each and every day of our life. Shelley will vouch for this. I'm a redneck from North Carolina. My wife, bless her heart, she's California, and she's a God-fearing person. Yes, there are God-fearing people from California, and my wife is one of them. And you talked about keeping me straight and trying to stay on the straight and narrow way. I thank God for. I mess up quite a bit because like I said, I'm not real bright. I told somebody here a while back, I said, yeah, it was a great day when I graduated from elementary school, and so I'm not, I'm not very bright, but I know in my heart that Jesus loves us. He loves us all. And there's no big I's and there's no little U's. And so we don't need to separate ourselves. We don't need to put ourselves on a pedestal. We don't need to do any of that. So I just want people to be able to come to one of our services. We don't do concerts. Come to one of our services and walk out and just say, boy, it sure has been good to be in the house of the Lord. And, we've seen 80-year-olds get saved. We've seen 17-year-old young men come to know the Lord just a few nights ago.
Amen.
That you can't put a price on any of that. No. It's not concerts. No. We do services.
Amen.
And your young kids mean a lot. They mean a lot to me. Okay. And I mean,
we look forward to, and we're still looking for opportunities to catch you down the road. We just hadn't hit one yet, but we're going to.
It'll happen. Lord willing, it will.
And I have a heart for have a heart for the history of the music, and also a heart for sharing it to the young folks. And I'm thankful for the veterans in our ministry,
Yes.
like Brother Danny, who do that. And I want to speak just a little bit talking about veterans in our industry. There was a very exciting announcement just a few weeks ago that this year, one of our 2023 Southern Gospel Music Association Hall of Fame inductees is none other than Mr. Danny Funderburk.
Yeah.
And I'm tickled. I haven't been on the board with SGMA, but it's fixing to be a year. This is fixing to be my year anniversary on there. But I voted for many years, and you have been on my ballot for so I said yes. When I saw that come across that I got
good.
one.
You must have got Jason to vote with you too.
But congratulations.
You did, Jason. That's all right. I still love you. But there's others out there that probably a whole lot more deserving than I am. It's an honor.
Well,
and I thank God for it.
Yeah, very deserving. It's hard because with us putting in 4 a year, sometimes it feels like we're getting a little bit behind with current and like in the stages of your career. And then also, with even some pioneers gone by, but there's no one anymore deserving than you, and just thankful that you're in. Looking forward to that Tuesday afternoon at the National Quartet Convention when you will be officially inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you, Scott. You ain't gonna believe this, guys, but I had a dream last night about the induction ceremony.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got lost. I didn't know where I was at. Maybe that's a sign, and I hope it's not. So I may be sitting where I need to be sitting on Tuesday. I may be sitting there Monday morning. But no, I did. I had the strangest dream, and I was just like, God just revealed to me that what. I think what he was trying to reveal to me is that it's an honor, and don't take it light. But I do. I just don't feel like I'm very deserving of it. Yes. In comparison to some of the people that I know as that are very, very deserving of it. But all I can do is just thank God, and maybe I look at this as a vote of confidence, and if anything, it should humble each and every one of us who may be inducted in or given something like this. It should humble us instead of causing pride or anything as such. That's not my nature.
Well, and that's one thing that I really appreciate watching over these years, and over these last few years, I've seen some of my heroes that I grew up with, like this year, Danny, and then we've had Mark and Gerald and Karen and Arthur and Rodney and some of these that's come in, and you can see it is a humbling thing. It's not anything of there's no pride there. You can see the appreciation for the recognition, but it's actually humbling to know that that the fans and the voters think that much, and that's one thing that I love about basically throughout Southern gospel music, that you do have that spirit of humility and so many of the ones who carry the gospel, which is the way it should be.
Well, yeah, Scott, Jason, I mean, the only thing God can use, if I understand, is humility. I mean, we need to try to remain humble if we can, because if it wasn't for the grace of God, I've always looked at it this way. I don't know why he's been able to sustain me and keep me. Lord have mercy. I turned my back on him one time and in my life, and I wished some of these things that may go down as far as our lives on our life's record. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but I wish there was some of the things that I have done in the past was not on my life's record. But all I can say is that thank God he's been willing to forgive and mainly forget. And so.
Yes, and all of us have that. All of us have moments of failure. If we could live a life without moments of failure, then there would have been no need for God's perfect plan of Jesus. But we need that redemptive blood and the sacrifice of Jesus for our sins. But one thing about it, and I'm a big believer in this, that everything behind me and the trials and the growth and everything that God has brought me through, it took all that to get me where I am today. And that's exactly where, I mean, what you can say, the thing, you talk about your ups and your downs, but you,
Yeah.
in God's sovereignty, you're exactly where he wanted you to be in his plan. And that's
Well,
a
yeah.
blessing to know.
And when you look back and see, I mean, him show me the favor that he's shown me, you know, I do believe in my heart that God knows my heart and He loves me. And I believe these two ways you come out of a situation. I've always said this, guys. You either come out a better person or you come out bitter. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to blame game for a long time. I don't know if anybody else has done that other than me, but I'd always blame somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
for my wrongdoings. And
Sure.
so when you look in the mirror and you see where the problem is, uh, honestly, you need to thank God that you're able
Amen.
and to realize in your heart and your mind that what, I it's me. God, just make me what I need to be. But I'm
Amen.
loving it right now. Shelly and I, we're just busy bees. We just finished 2 projects.
Yep.
Been in the studio working on a Christmas project that we're doing. We're going to do some Christmas programs this Christmas. We're going to try to take on more next year. I think we're doing 11 or maybe 12 this time around, and it's a production. We put it together. Jason Webb, who
Okay.
produces for
Yep.
a lot of
Yeah.
great artists. He's
Hmm.
putting this together for us, and so we're
All right.
excited. It's going to be myself along with Avenue. Most of you
Hmm.
people know Haley and Casey and Jonathan, and
Hmm.
so we're putting that stuff together. And then I just went in and uh, I did a hymn project, and
Okay.
I've simply titled it "Lyrics That Last." I
Oh, I
mean,
love
you
it.
Love it.
cannot. Yeah, thank you, Jason. You can't take away. Uh, I, there's great writers. Lord have mercy. I mean, we got some great writers in gospel music
Hmm.
right now. But you take some of the lyrics of some of them old songs, and
Mm.
wow, they're just so spot on. And so myself with Kevin Williams and Matthew Holt, we went into the studio, and that's all I used for instruments was Kevin and Matthew, and they put piano and bass and acoustic and all. It's very simple. It's going to have backgrounds with me on it, and it's some of the arrangements are just really nice. But it brings back those old songs that, as George Johnson used to say, "Don't let them die, just keep them
Yeah.
going." And so that's one thing that I learned from those guys is don't throw away the
Oh,
good
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Now you speak about those 2 projects, and I know we're getting really close. Either one of those two going to be on the table coming in QC time?
Well, we're hoping that the hymn project will.
Okay, great.
Good.
That's what we're pushing for. We're going to be very up against the deadline on that.
Right.
Time wise,
Time's
everybody
ticking.
gets busy this time of year, and everybody
Right.
wants something done. Everybody wants something new. So yeah, that now the Christmas, I'm not quite sure on that, but we're not going to be start working dates until the very last weekend of November, and
Yeah.
so we got a little more time on that.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to be out by convention. So, but the hymn project, we're really pushing for that, and so yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. And I get to sing on Wednesday night at the National Quartet.
Hey.
Amen.
So
We're
I
thankful for
got
that.
2 honors happening at the convention this year. And so 2023 is maybe God is smiling on me. I don't know, but I thank God for it.
Amen.
Well, you touched on your 2 projects that are coming out in a few months. Tell us a little bit about your current project that's out. I think it came out in what, September of last year, August, September of
Yeah.
last year, called
Yes.
One Song Away.
Uh-huh. Jason, that's the project that we did so that we could get it out by convention, and that was brand new last year. And so, yeah, that's my latest, and I love it. Right now, we got a song that's actually doing quite well in the charts, and that does anybody want to have a little church?
Yeah.
And so just kind of ask the question: do you want to hear choir sing? Do you want to sing Amazing Grace? Anybody want to lift your hand and praise the Lord? I mean, I think the church has been really, really been oppressed. I believe COVID basically almost destroyed, the gathering, not the church.
Yes.
Because we always know that Jesus Christ is the church. He's the foundation. So we can't destroy that. But I think a lot of people, for some reason or another, they just give up. They got afraid. And but I do feel like there's something happening in our churches now again. And I believe people are starting to gather back. I don't think people are as afraid. And I think they're actually probably appreciating the fact that we can go to God's house now more.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean, it's all about Him.
I forgot where I was going.
I definitely agree with you, Brother Danny, in seeing, I don't know of hardly any, when we live, you talking about small town, Jason and I live in Kennedy, Alabama. The population is 425 if everybody's home.
So
I got it.
So we're small, but in all of our rural churches, I don't know of a single church whose worship attendance, small group attendance it went down, of course, during the time when we were, I guess, I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but, and I usually don't mind saying the wrong thing. Exactly. Yeah. And having our liberties and our freedoms impeded upon, and our right to gather and our right to assemble and our right to worship the Lord was impeded upon. And when we bowed to that and we had folks go away, all around here, there's a lot who didn't come back.
And it's sad. I can understand, as it was like 3 to 4 years. And I know a lot of things change in people's lives in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so you never know exactly why they've decided not to come back. But I don't know. If we're not in church, we miss it. We miss it bad.
Absolutely.
And,
Amen.
But I'm never going to condemn someone that if they say, well, I can sit at home and watch, watch it on live stream or do that, and I can get the same out of it. Well, here I am. I'm going to stick my foot in my mouth. Okay. I don't know how in the world people could say they can get as much out of it at home as they can of sitting together in God's house and being able to shake hands with an old friend and ask him how his week went, and things are going to be better, and we know it's going to be better. I don't know. There's just something about fellowship that just it's very encouraging and uplifting to one another.
There's nothing like it.
That's right.
Nothing like it.
That's right.
I know where I was going.
Exactly.
When you showed that picture of his project a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Brother Danny, if somebody would like to purchase any of your products, whether it be the project that's out right now, I know you have T-shirts and different things available. Tell everybody where they can go and get some of that stuff.
Oh, okay, Chase. Yeah, they can go to DannyFunderburkMinistries.com. I believe you just threw it up on the screen there. And they can go to DannyFunderburkMinistries.com, and they can go to the website, and they can order the projects. They can download the projects. They can do whatever and the T-shirts should show. We're very happy of our new T-shirt, John 3:16. Now, that song is on the One Song Away project.
Yep.
And it talks about, no, I'll never get over being a whosoever, and it says John 3:16. When I sing the song, I say, all right, if you're a whosoever, raise your hand. And you would be surprised at some of the people that look. Hold on a second.
That's all right.
That's Rick Francis. Yeah. Tell Rick Francis we're going to have to call him back. Okay.
He didn't know we were on tonight.
Rick, well, I tell you what, I'll give him a buzz back here in a little bit. But now, where was I at, Jason? What was I talking about now?
Whosoever.
Yeah, whosoever.
Oh, the T-shirt and all. And so we're very, very proud of that. They can get that online if they like the song. I don't know. I just feel like that this last project that we did here, the One Song Away project, was probably one of the best things I've done in a while. I love the song selections. I love the way it challenged me, and I love the messages that was being presented. One Song Away talks about, don't give up, because somebody, maybe just one song, and I take it one step further, one song or one sermon away from come to know Jesus as their Savior. So that's an important, point to be made. Why in the world would He love us? He does love us, but why would He die for us? And it asks the question, why? And so, but maybe one day, and I know we'll get to look at Him face to face and say, Lord, why did you love me so much? You know what I did with my life, all the sin. And you know what, guys? He may look at us and say, what sins are you talking about? I don't know. If I'm wrong, then, I hope in my heart that I'm not using that in a wrong way. But I believe when He says, I'll forgive you your sins and be forgotten, I believe there's truth there. So anyway, it doesn't give us a license to keep sinning. We have to maintain and do what we need to do to seek His favor. But no, I love that One Song Away project. The Heroes Project, that's a good project. So they can find all my music there. They can find the T-shirts. We have USB that's available. It's got 80 plus songs on there, and they can get most everything that I've recorded as a soloist in the last 7, 8, 9 years is right there on that USB. And so,
fantastic.
Yeah, everything is accessible there. You can even contact us to maybe try to schedule in your church and all. We're already setting dates for 2024, and the calendar is filling up. Thank God for it.
Well, and I'm going to do the same thing I did with our last guest. I'm going to ask our viewers to do two things, and that is to go to DannyFunderburkMinistries.com. One, go shopping, help support this ministry. You'll bless his heart if you will buy his music and buy some of the T-shirts, things like that.
That'd be great.
You'll bless his heart. And also, if you on that same webpage, it does have their contact information. If you maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're a music minister, or if not, maybe just a member in a church, but we want to help get Brother Danny in your church. So you can contact get that information and contact them about bringing them to your church, because we definitely want to support him. Because Brother Danny, we thank you so much for taking, I know your time is valuable. You've been very busy with projects and everything leading up with NQC coming. And we just thank you so much for taking this time and spending with us tonight.
No, it's been my privilege. It's been an honor for me to be with you guys. You see behind me, this is our home. This is our coach. This is our home on wheels. We've sold out. And Shelly and I, all we do is go now and just wherever God opens the doors. If churches want to bring us in for revival services, we'd be glad to do that. I'd love to come and sing and share and just do what God is expecting out of us, I guess, in the latter days, because there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of souls to reach, but very little time to do it, I believe.
Amen.
I thought of a cathedral song.
Okay.
What's that, Jason?
When you guys were talking a little bit ago, it hit me just all of a sudden, but sinner saved by grace.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Just a sinner saved by grace.
Love to hear George sing that.
Yep, that's good.
If you could see what I once was, that's his testimony. You better believe it. That's all of our testimonies, but thank God. Guys, we do love you and appreciate you. And I'm looking on that wall back there. And all right, you're going to have to get a pic of me. Okay.
Yes.
Can I go on the wall of shame? I mean, the wall of fame back there.
I've got one. I just haven't got it put up yet, but it's going to go. It's coming behind us because we're coming. I've got you and I've got Arthur and a couple of more that's going to be right here, right behind us. This is a work in progress, but I got you. I already got you covered.
Take care of the old man. All right.
I got that thing autographed and everything, so it's genuine.
All right, good, Scott. I thought you had one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we do. We
I
love
do.
you guys, and
Love you
keep
too.
up
I
the
love you too,
work.
Brother Danny.
Okay, and I hope people will start appreciating what you guys are doing. Okay,
Well, thank you so
Well,
much.
we appreciate
and
it.
I mean,
Appreciate
you
you.
know, it's just everyday living, and we just want to make the best. So we love you guys. Take care.
Love you too. Thank you, Brother Danny.
Stay in touch.
Thanks, guys. All right, bye.
Take care. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Ooh,
Wow.
what a blessing.
Yeah, that was great.
I tell you, I'm I'm on a spiritual high
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
we got somebody else lined up. I mean, it's not but 7:45.
He absolutely blessed my heart and encouraged me from the moment he came in
Yes.
until
I
the
mean, and
very
that's
end.
just him.
It is.
That's just
it is.
him.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. Real quick, we do want to give one more plug.
Yeah.
You want to do that right quick?
Sure. You know, over the weekend you did a plug for our sponsors, obviously.
Yes.
And this is not a sponsor per se.
We don't get anything off of this. Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
I'll
This is not a sponsor.
I'll put it out there.
But you know, we want to get behind and plug products that we use and enjoy. And so I know that there's probably some out there that's watching and that will watch that are coffee drinkers.
Yes.
But you're gonna have to grow up a little bit because you don't drink coffee, right?
No, and it's nothing against. If I did drink coffee, I would drink this coffee. But no, I'd about rather turn up a bottle of turpentine than I just don't care anything about the taste of coffee. Period. So, but if I did drink it,
you would drink this.
I'd do it. Right
well,
there.
I did just want to mention solid ground coffee. I don't know if you can see that. Maybe there's not a glare on it, but solid ground coffee. Many people are familiar with Karen Peck in New River. But Karen's son, Matthew,
yes,
he and his wife have formed this business, and I believe it's probably just a few years old.
About 2 or 3.
2 or 3 years old. Yeah. And Rachel and I drank their coffee, and I had called Matthew here a few weeks ago, and I said, "Hey, do you mind if we kind of plug your coffee?" And he said, "Absolutely, go for it." So if you are interested in that, who said that?
Blaine Rayleigh said that the coffee took Jason's hair off. Ain't that ugly?
Yeah. So I'm not even going to comment. So if you would like to purchase some of the solid ground coffee, you can go to solidgroundcoffee.com.
Oh goodness, I'm behind. I'm so sorry.
Scott.
I hit boom there.
Solidgroundcoffee.com, and they have other things. More than just coffee. They have, I think, some shirts and some coffee mugs and different things like that. So there you go. Get you some coffee.
Perfect. And one thing, and I know we've got folks jumping off because Danny's gone.
Danny is gone.
Here we
has
go.
Left the building.
But there's a few of y'all with us, and I've got something here. I've actually got 2 somethings here. If any of our listeners, and there's a few of y'all still on, if you would be interested in 2 free tickets to the National Quartet Convention on Sunday night. 2 free tickets to the concert. It's a full lineup. I think there's about 10 groups this year. Gold City's on there. I can't remember who all. It's a full lineup this year on Sunday night. 2 tickets. The first 2 comments that I see, and I'm not going to wait real long. Some of y'all may not be interested or can go, but if first 2 people that would say I want it or hey, I'm interested, I will send you I will get with you and send you this coupon that will let you have 2 free tickets to the National Quartet Convention. So
hey, you can't beat that.
You can't beat free. We want you to join us. All right. I got Jeff Gibson. He says he wants it. So Jeff, I got your comment here. I will reply to you when we get off the air and get you fixed up. Do I have another? I see that hand. Do I have another? Yeah. We get in the auctioneer phase here. But y'all, this has been a fun night.
It has been a fun night.
Bless my heart with Brother Danny being here with us, and just so thankful for him. And let's see, Isaac Hughes is interested. So I've got 2. Isaac, I'll also send you a comment or a messenger message. I'll get with Jeff Gibson and Isaac Hughes getting 2 free tickets to Sunday night's National Quartet Convention. Thank y'all for joining us. You can do us a huge favor. all you guys who are watching, guys and
Guys
gals,
and gals.
are watching us. If you will share this, that would be a blessing. If you will go to YouTube, to our SBM Studios page or channel, it's a channel on YouTube, and subscribe. Hit that little ding and subscribe so you'll be notified. That will help us a lot. But follow us at SBM Studios page, and just watch tomorrow night at the same bat time on the same bat channels. We're going to have the first episode of Southern Gospel Forward. And that is a youth movement, except me. I'm small pop. I'm the pawpaw of the group, but because it came out of my head to do this. But we've got some young folks, some young fans that's going to be on with one of the most popular young artists in Southern gospel music right now, Trevor Conkle, who is the pianist for the Mark Trammell Quartet. And we're going to be right here. If you're watching us, you watch us the same place. Tune in tomorrow night for Southern Gospel Forward. It's 7 Central Time, 8 Eastern. So that's all I've got, Brother Jason. You got anything else?
That's it. You know, it's like I said, it's been a great night, and just reflecting back when you and I first started talking about putting something like this together.
Mm-hmm.
I never dreamed that something like tonight would happen.
Yeah.
And so, you know, Brother Danny, if you're still watching, again, thank you, and
yeah,
look forward to
what a blessing.
Yeah, what a blessing, and we look forward to more episodes down the road.
Absolutely. Well, I think we'll just go ahead and close her down. And y'all, thank you so much. You're a blessing to us because you're watching this, whether it was live or whether it's after the fact. You're a blessing to us. We thank you so much. Please just share us. We thank you for your support. And until next time, God bless you.
Good night.
Good night.